I want to welcome you to Introduction to Industrial Organizational Psychology, Psychology B358. And this is a fully online class. My name is Dr. Joel T. Nadler. I was a former professor of industrial organizational psychology at another university where I was fully tenured and also was the director of their IO master's program. I have since moved into the private sector and am now working as a senior consultant, but I definitely can bring a lot of experiences if you have questions or just in general about both the private and the public sector, academia, and practice. My email is listed here. This is the best way to get a hold of me. If you need to email me, just allow 24 hours for the email to be returned. If you do not hear back from me within 24 hours, feel free to send another one and see what's going on. I'm usually pretty prompt about responding to emails. There's generally a teaching assistant associated with this class. Please see the syllabus to find out their information, and you can also find out more about both of us on Canvas, which is the shell for this class. The required text for this class is currently Landy and Conti, 2019, Work in the 21st Century, an Introduction to Industrial Organizational Psychology, 6th edition. This book should be available through textbook services. However, you're also free to obtain a copy through any other means that make sense to you. And I would note that at least as far back as the 5th edition is functionally the same, and honestly, I doubt the 4th edition is much different. This is not a book that has gone through major revision. Basically, they just update their examples when they go to new editions. So again, you'll be getting the same content if you get an older version of the book, especially I know I checked the 5th edition and I saw no real differences. So again, I do think it is important to buy the book because this is an online class. And as an online class, the impetus for who is actually in charge of your education does fall a little bit more on you. And I strongly suggest that if you're wanting to master this material, reading the chapter is a great first step. Generally speaking, what I think you want to do each week is first read the chapter, then go through the audio slides and listen to my lectures. At that point, if you have any questions, feel free to go onto the discussion board or email me. And then when you have a good feel for the chapter, that is the time to then do either the quiz, which is online, which we'll talk about in a minute, or the discussion section for that particular chapter. So let's talk about the actual core assignments or gradables in this class. The first one is weekly quizzes. These will be given throughout the course, and generally they're once a week. Generally, they're going to be made available for approximately 7 days. They usually go live on Monday morning, and then they'll be available for you to take anywhere up until Sunday night, usually at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These are open book and untimed quizzes. Generally, a quiz is worth 20 points and has 10 questions. They're multiple choice. And those questions can come from the books, the readings, my lectures, anything that's actually assigned in this course can be used. If you're really struggling on a particular question, you can also use online references to look up that information. Again, these are open book, they are open note, they're there more to check your knowledge, but also to help you make sure if there is a question you're not sure about, that you've gone back to the original materials and gotten that information. So those are the quizzes as they are available for 7 days. Don't wait to the last minute to take these tests on Sunday. I would suggest that you decide when's a good day for you to be done with the readings and the lectures and kind of set that in your own clock, because that's when I'm going to take the quizzes. Again, the quizzes are not available 7 days so that you can wait to the last minute. The quizzes are available 7 days so that you can structure your week in a way that makes sense for your schedule. The second part of the gradables in this class is the writing assignments. There are 4 of these, approximately each one after approximately a quarter of the class, and they are in the syllabus. This is a 4-part project that will allow students the opportunity to gain a hands-on experience with IO methodology and procedures. These are to be conducted individually. There is no actual research to be done. These are papers, and they'll be assigned through the semester, posted on Canvas. The focus is going to be on the lecture topics covered approximately during that frame of time. And these are sequential. So the first one is going to be kind of establishing a problem in IO psychology. The next one is going to be reviewing resources to find a solution to that problem. The third part of the project is going to be actually pitching a solution to that problem. How would you fix it through training? And finally, the last part of that project is how would you know if the training worked or not? So though they are separate papers, they do build off each other, and I would strongly suggest that it makes sense for you just to add each section as you go. I'm not going to be regrading previous sections, but at the end, you'll actually have a fairly long paper that was actually easy to write in 4 sections. Each section is worth 25 points, and there's a lot more detail on these projects and the sections within Canvas, including grading rubrics, full descriptions of each section, and an audio walkthrough. With the audio walkthrough, please note it is a little dated. I probably mentioned some dates in there and some times. I may even mention a different university, but the project remains. These can be turned in late. However, they lose 5 points for each day that they're late, beginning at 11:59 the day of the project, which means after 5 days, as it's a 25-point project, it would no longer be worth any points. There is also course discussions throughout this class. They're not weekly. They're approximately every second to third week. The way these discussions work is, again, you'll have 7 days to complete the discussion. Each discussion is worth 20 points. And each discussion has effectively 3 parts. The first part is the parent post. So there'll be a full question for you to dive into in IO psychology. These questions are usually going to require probably 2 to 3 parts, including a paragraph where you, in your own words, describe the core concept under discussion. You then apply that core concept to situations you've experienced, and then kind of provide your overview thoughts. So these parent posts are generally going to be 2 to 3 paragraphs, and you will not be able to see anyone else's post until you post yours. Once you've posted yours, you're expected to read other people's posts to get their perspectives on this issue and their understanding of it, and then to comment on at least 2 of those messages. Those follow-up comments should be approximately a paragraph. A good way to think about this is that when you're doing a follow-up post, the first thing you need to do is actually tell the reader what you're commenting on. And that means define it in your own words, not just, I'm making a comment about your construct. It's, I really found it interesting that you talked about the construct in the following way and that you defined it in the following way. Based on that, I would like to draw my own conclusions. So basically, you're kind of redefining it in your own words. You're letting the reader know what you're commenting on. You're making your comments, and those comments might be, this really helped me understand, and here's why. These might be, it makes me think of another situation I've been in, and here it is. Again, they should be about a paragraph. So at the end of a discussion, you should have at least 3 posts, a parent post with 2 to 3 paragraphs, and 2 follow-up posts, each one approximately a paragraph or more. These discussions, again, will be live for 7 days. Again, please don't wait to the last minute. These 7 days are given to you so that you can adjust your own schedule of when you want to do these discussions. Also, generally, it is very helpful if you make that parent post earlier in the week and do your follow-ups later, allowing you to see a lot more students' comments. Anyway, if you have any questions about the course discussions, there is more detail on each one, and there's also more details in the syllabus, and each one is worth 20 points. There are no makeup quizzes or discussions in this class, as each one you have a full 7 days to complete. I have not really allowed for any late or missing discussions or quizzes. However, I do realize real life can get in the way. So you can miss up to 2 quizzes and or discussions. So that's 2 total. It could be 2 quizzes, 2 discussions, 1 quiz, 1 discussion during the semester for any reason, and you don't need to let me know about it. You simply need at the end of the semester to do a research article summary, and there's full details of this on Canvas. Basically, it's going to be about 2 pages, double spaced, where you read a research article and you summarize it for me. Details regarding the expectations will be posted and already up, and summaries need to be clearly labeled, specifically what article you're reviewing and what assignment it's replacing. These are due by December 11th at midnight. If you've basically taken every quiz and every discussion and you're unhappy with 1 or 2 scores, you can do a research summary to replace your lowest score. Again, up to 2 of those. There is no replacements for the papers. Those papers are well defined of when they're due. They need to be turned in, and beyond the 7 days you have to turn them in, they're also available for late turn in for up to 5 days afterwards. So again, please do not miss the papers. So almost everything for this class, in fact, everything for this class is up on Canvas, and I've set it up to where there's a lot of ways to navigate to the information, but there's only a few few simple ways to access the information. You do definitely want to log in regularly. If you click on home, it's going to give you the full introduction. There's going to be a link to the syllabus. There's going to be the basic information. There's also going to be a biography of myself, and if there's a TA to this class, the TA, along with some helpful links. So this is a great place to start. Also, this is where you'd see recent announcements. So if I've made an announcement to the class and you missed the email, you could also find them here. The second main page you need to think about is the modules, and honestly, this is pretty much it. If You use home and modules, you're going to get access to all of the class. Under modules, every single week is going to be listed. So the very first module is just basic introduction, link to the syllabus, textbook. The next one is a link to the project instructions and project audio walkthrough. So again, those 4 papers throughout the semester. And those same resources will be made available with each assignment, but this is a place where you can just get an overview of that. And then we'll start seeing week 1, week 2, week 3. Each week we'll list when it covers from Monday to Friday, but remember it goes live on Monday and stays live until Sunday. It'll actually have the learning objective and due dates. You can click on that for information. It'll have the lectures, slide only if you simply need to review them. And it will have my audio lectures where you can actually listen to me basically giving a lecture on that particular week's topics. Like I said, don't forget that you're also expected to be reading the chapter for that week. And finally, if there's anything gradable or due, whether it's a quiz, discussion, or project paper, it would be at the bottom here too. You could click on it there to take that quiz, complete that discussion, or turn in that assignment. You could also go to the syllabus, and if you click on that, once again, at the top of the syllabus, you'll see a link to the full syllabus for this class. I strongly encourage you to download that and read through it fully. And then again, by due date, you would see everything assigned to this class. And you can kind of see that the first week, Sunday, August 28th, and this particular example, quiz 1 is due. Next week, discussion question 1 and quiz 2 is due, and onward. So, and you can see by week 3, quiz 3 and project section 1 is due. So these aren't by module or week, they're just by due date. So this is another place you can come to make sure, have I missed anything, or is there anything coming up this week that is due? So I hope this review has helped you. I certainly kind of want to make sure that you understand all the components, know where to go in Canvas, and also understand what the class is focused on and how it proceeds. If you have any questions, again, probably the best place to ask a question is actually the Open Course Questions discussion board. You can click on discussions to get to that, because then if I answer your question, anyone else can see both your question and my answer as well. You're also free to use email to ask additional questions, and I look forward to having you in this class.